Okay, 10 brutal facts that every content creator is going to eventually have to learn. Anyone that can vouch, please back me up here. My name's BigE. I started making videos in 2010, and I've been a full-time content creator since 2019, where prior to that, I was still a content creator, but I primarily focused on creative work and working with brands to help other people grow their brands in social media. Along that journey, I've discovered a couple things. And one of the reasons why I made this channel is to put together videos so that way I could help make the process of doing this shit, regardless of whatever industry or type of content you make. I just wanted to make the process a little easier, or maybe not like easier, but a little less daunting. So that way, like when you go through one of these things today, like learning one of these valuable lessons, and you feel like a complete fuck up, you actually don't, because you find out that this is just part of the process. And I really do feel like I have a list that regardless if you're like wanting to be a Call of Duty content creator, or you like playing music or mowing lawns, I genuinely feel like everything today can be relatable across the board. So getting into this, number one, no one owes you a fucking thing. This is one of the toughest things to learn as a content creator, because at the end of the day, we're the ones like creating the project. We know how much work we put into it, the idea, putting it together, editing it. After we put so much time and effort into it, you almost get this sense of feeling, well, because I've created this thing, then surely the first step is that people will care about the sheer fact that I even made it in the first place. The reality is most people don't. Viewers are persuaded by content that they themselves would want to enjoy. That's not to say that people won't admire the work that you put into your videos. I'm just trying to give you an understanding that just because you make videos, just because you're a streamer and you make vertical content, even though it's maybe not really authentic or content around the shit that you genuinely want to do, just because you show up and make that thing doesn't mean that you're owed views, that over a period of time that it will just naturally come to you because, hey, you showed up and did something. If it was that easy, everybody would be successful. Which brings me to my next point. Don't do stuff just based around the idea of getting something in return. Don't focus the start of your content creation journey on the inspiration of somebody else because you see that they're successful and thinking that's what you have to do. You should be focusing on the interests in your life that give you inspiration. What is that thing that if money wasn't an option, you would just do anyways? Coming into the world of content creation, like you have a plan and idea because you've seen somebody else do it, so you're just gonna do something that gets the traffic you see other people get, you're not genuinely into it, that's a recipe for disaster, because that rolls into the next fact. This can take time. It's currently 2024. I made my first YouTube channel 14 years ago. Now take in mind, I didn't start that YouTube channel on the idea that this is what it would turn into to this day. It was honestly a side hobby from my full-time job. I would get home from work and me and some friends online would make some Call of Duty YouTube videos. It wasn't really until like 2014, 2015 that I really started seeing like the business side of things and the monetization to where I really wanted to expand and grow and like turn this into a full-time career. But regardless, it still took me over a decade to get to where I am today. And for me, in my perspective, I am more successful than I could have ever imagined in this line of work. But that still doesn't change the fact that you don't control when it's just gonna happen, like when shit is gonna make sense and when people are gonna really show up and you're gonna build that community and you're gonna make something of this. It could, for some people, be 6 months. Maybe everything just makes sense and you just get in a good rhythm and a flow and you're really creating content around an authentic thing that you're genuinely into and people fuck with it and people discover you. Maybe you gotta go through some ups and downs over the next couple years and figure your shit out. Either way, this is why you don't do shit just for an immediate result. Like this idea that, oh, I just got this figured out. I've seen so-and-so do it, so I'll just do that myself. Because if you expect immediate results from something you're genuinely not into and nothing actually happens, it sucks. Which brings me into point number 4. Nobody cares more than you. Just like the idea that no one cares how much time you put into a video and like thinking that you're just gonna get a return because you've worked a little harder on something. No one also cares how much you complicate things. This is something that I deal with to this day. Case in point, the last couple months has been a huge example. As a creative who's into camera gears and setups and everything, for a while now, I've constantly had this idea that I have to have this crazy setup and this awesome structure. Like this is the presentation that I have to be successful. I gotta have all this gear and all this lighting. And it turns out nobody really fucking cares. Over the last few months, some of my best videos have been sitting a camera down with a mic on top of the camera, setting up a light, making a little list, and just letting it fucking rip. And as a result of that, we're finally about to hit 1,000 subscribers, which would be a good point in the video to say, hey, if you're not subscribed, lock that shit in. But genuinely, we really can be our own worst enemy. And I'm telling you right now, all those things that you overcomplicate, all that perfectionist shit that you try to build when it comes to like, oh, I'm gonna be that guy. Nobody really cares. They don't care that your videos and live streams aren't in the highest resolution. Most people can only watch 1080p anyways. They don't care that you have an $800 microphone setup that sounds like you're on a Joe Rogan podcast versus having something that's just clear and they can distinctly hear. The more you stress and complicate your shit and make the process of making videos more annoying for you, just restricts that process in itself and holds you back from just getting down and getting to it. Which brings me to number 5, consistency is king. Too many creators think big, quick, and they don't understand the process of just sitting a consistent schedule and routine. 1 video a week for an entire year is 52 videos. At the end of the year, that's 52 more videos than you have now by just 1 video a week. How much time and effort do you think you could put into just 1 video every single week? And then the consistency of that with the audience, knowing, hey, I got 1 video that's gonna be coming from this creator that I've been following. I'm ready for it every single week. 2 videos a week is 104 videos in a year. Don't be so wrapped up in this idea of building together a platform portfolio, just getting out all the content that you can, because having more just makes you look better. Focus on setting a realistic schedule that you can stay consistent with, something that you know you will get done. People aren't gonna forget about you in a week or 2. Hell, one of my favorite YouTubers right now, Blacktail Studio, they make these like crazy creative desks. They go months sometimes without uploading, and they still manage to have almost 3 million subscribers and get millions of views of video. If you create content that's relatable to your community and potential new viewers, the platform won't forget about you. You'll be fine. Which brings me to number 6, and this is one of the most frustrating ones that I've dealt with over the years as like trying to help other creators understand platforms. And that is, platforms don't hate the small guy. It is such a dumb fucking idea to create in your head that the platform hates the small guy. The platform only rewards those who are big. How do you think people get big? Now I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. This idea is mostly promoted from individuals that don't put any ounce of effort into their shit. So it's just easier to blame the platform for them not wanting to be consistent, learning from their failures. And then they go out there and they spew this to other smaller creators that are up and growing. So that way those smaller creators follow their shit because they screamed, hey, it's the platform's fault, not your fault. If you want to improve as a creator, just blame your fucking self and try to get better. Regardless of whatever lie you tell yourself in the head, platforms in 2024 are designed to give videos to viewers. So that way viewers stay on the website as long as possible. Faster, that you understand that when you upload a YouTube video, it's not YouTube saying, you don't have 1 million subs, you're irrelevant. And you understand that when you make a YouTube video and you put it up, and if you don't have keywords in the title for YouTube to say, all right, who do we push this to? And if you don't have a captivating title and thumbnail that would get a new viewer to say, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm gonna check this out. If you don't focus on those things, you're not going to get new viewers. A great way to prove what I'm saying, by the way, is if you're on YouTube, go into your analytics and find the impressions. And this is how many people YouTube has pushed your videos to. And then look at your CTR or your click-through rate and see what percentage of people after YouTube pushed your videos to actually clicked on the fucking video. That number is in direct correlation to you and your effort and what you're doing. It's not the platform. God, it's one of the most counterintuitive ideas. Why would a platform who needs more creators to be successful so that way more viewers click and stay on the site, why would any platform restrict new people creating new content from growing? It makes 0 sense. The problem is most people that bitch and moan about platforms not doing well, they're just doing the same shit everybody else is doing. And a majority of them, they make like 50 videos and they don't assess anything from them. They don't look into their analytics. They don't see, okay, when I did this, why did nobody click on this video? Most people develop the excuse that the platform is restricting you based off of like point number 1 and 2 that I made, which is this idea that they made the video, they feel like they should just be owed some kind of attention. No, like even you as a viewer, your time is not manipulated by somebody just because they made a video. We can all live in this fake, fluffy world of emotions where it's like, let's just support everybody. Let's just lift everybody up because you gave an effort. But like, let's be real, even people that do that, at a certain point, you turn off those fucking videos because they're not entertaining. And then you go and watch shit that you're genuinely into. So even if you as a creator, if you're like trying to be nice and just support other people, but then at the end of the day, your attention goes to the things that you're genuinely into, you're a fucking hypocrite. So no, platforms don't hate the small guy. They hate people that just show up a few times, don't improve or learn anything from their craft, and then just bitch about everything. That's a great segue into number 7. Follow for follow and support for support groups are complete bullshit. I'll give you guys the biggest red flag for a creator. Like if you're coming across somebody and you find a content creator online and maybe what they're saying makes you feel some type of way, so you're like, I'm gonna follow this person. If they articulate in any way, shape, or form that we will build each other up together, join my Discord, like and subscribe to my channels, and I'll do that for you. Follow my live stream and I'll follow you on yours. Any of that support for support shit is a genuine, inauthentic way to build your brand. Even if you gain 100, 500, 1,000 followers or subscribers on a social platform from doing support for support or follow for follow, you will end up with inactive people because those are people that don't genuinely care about your content, your message, what you're trying to create. I don't even need to go more into it. I can't even believe that in 2024, this is something that universally everybody just doesn't understand. Guys, it's a waste of fucking time. Don't even bother. Number 8, you need to network the right way. I see so many creators, especially streamers, overcomplicate the idea of networking. Like they hear the advice like, oh, if you want to grow, like you work with other creators, you network. And then that immediate idea becomes like, oh, I'm a creative YouTuber with 100 subs and Peter McKinnon's a creative YouTuber with 5 million. I need to network with him. Let's collab. I'm gonna shoot my shot. And hey, there's like really nothing wrong with that. But essentially in that case, all you're really trying to do is just use their YouTube as a giant billboard for you. That's not networking, that's milking off of somebody. 2 examples that I use as genuine networking. And it does help, by the way, like networking is a good thing. But number 1 is creating a small circle of people that are just as crazy about your craft and your content as you are. I have Big Rob Energy and Jayhawk and a couple others in my circle, but those 2 being like the primary ones where like we check in on each other, we get in calls, we get together a few times throughout the year, and we see where we are and we bounce ideas off each other. But the thing is now in 2024, it's cool to be a part of that group. People say all the time, like, I'd love to get more involved with you guys. But the only reason we all are where we are today with our hundreds of thousands of followers across all platforms together is because we were that same way 4 and 5 years ago. We were in these group chats when I had no followers on Instagram, when Jayhawk was making a YouTube channel. Me and Big Rob were joking about content ideas before he even became a content creator in this industry. Everybody takes the idea of like networking and they want to expedite it to people that are like already established. Like they want to be friends with people that already have a following. And again, it's based off this idea of like billboard effect. Like, oh, if I just get in with the right crowd, they'll just juice me. But time and time again, I've seen groups of smaller creators that just stick together and learn with each other and bounce ideas off of each other and fucking push each other to keep going. Those groups kill it and become way more successful over time. And it's like the same repetition. They just started off as friends, they're doing this together, and over time they become this group and then everybody wants to be a part of it. And like, hey, that's networking. That's how you network, right? The second way with genuinely networking is like networking with your community. I mean, this is what streamers have done for years to become successful. They get super close with their community. Having those raw conversations and communication, playing games with each other, hosting events, getting to meet their viewers at events, it's such a genuine, authentic way to network. It just so happens to be that you're networking with the people that support your videos versus the idea of networking with other creators where you're gonna benefit from. So at a certain point, you are gonna learn that networking is more of a personal thing versus this big advertising thing to work with other people. And by the way, I've seen creators have a really successful start to their career by networking with much bigger creators. Like they just came in and they made the right calls and connections especially streamers, and they got onto all these crazy bigger streamer streams, and it didn't help them grow an authentic community and brand like they expected it to do. For number 9, let's keep this short and simple. Haters are a legit waste of your time. Listen, you're putting yourself out there into the online world. I mean, the online world is a cesspool to begin with. Highly recommend a work life to personal life balance, by the way. But you could make the nicest, most helpful video and you will get haters. You have to understand, one, it's typically not a reflection on you. These are individuals that are upset with their own life and their existence, and they put their negativity onto others. And it typically tends to be the individuals that, like, they want what you're going after, but they don't want to put the time and energy into improving whatsoever from like learning from their failures and applying themselves. So it's just easier to shit on you for doing so. That really is like one of the saddest types of haters, is like the people that are in your niche or in your thing. I had the wildest hater over the last year. Like, I forget a lot of haters, but this guy like stuck out to me like a sore thumb. He literally followed me on every single platform, all my live streams, and went over this like 6-month journey of just like anything I did, tried to belittle it and say like how I'm wrong. At a certain point, I just kind of like let it happen, because I wanted to see how far like the delusion would go. And when it finally like came to the end where I finally blocked and banned him everywhere and like gave honestly my 2 cents in stream, I had gone across the socials, and in that amount of time, I had made 50 videos on my main YouTube channel. I'd streamed hundreds of times. I think across all my socials, I grew another 100,000 followers, and I also had the craziest financial window of my life. This person made one video and went live one time, but on every social media platform, they were trying to tell me how to do my job. Haters are just sad people. Block them out, literally on every social media platform. You can kind of get a vibe from a comment on YouTube to somebody on Twitter interacting with your tweet. If you get this genuine feeling like that this person's just gonna be toxic, just block them. Nobody is holding a gun to your head to say like, you have to keep everybody open to you 24/7. In fact, it's horrible to do. And that brings me to point number 10. You're gonna fuck up at some point. It's a good thing. Fucking up is a part of the process. You're going to screw up rendering videos. You're going to record something and the mic is gonna be completely fucked up, or you're going to buy a new camera and have no idea how to work it and completely botch your first few recordings. You're gonna screw up a brand deal, and you're gonna eventually piss off a viewer. You're going to find consistency, then you're gonna get inconsistent, and you're gonna have to evaluate what you really want out of this. At some point across your journey, you'll fuck up, you will fail, and what is more important from that is how you adapt to that, how you let that affect you. This is why everything that I mentioned today is so important, because if you just take the baby steps to be consistent and create shit around something that you're genuinely into, and if you're raw and you're authentic and you don't just do shit to expect anything, every time that you fail, it's not gonna matter, because you're gonna be so focused on the journey itself that it's not gonna bother you, because you just want to pick yourself back up and keep moving. It's like the amazing quote, the person that is there for the journey itself is gonna walk further than the person that's there for the destination. All right, hope this video was helpful. That's all we got for you guys today. I'm out, peace, deuces.